What the fuck? Okay, I don't know if she's an Islam, but with the tudong, I would assume she is. And, well, I mean, he is Chris Hemsworth.
They offered their recruits a very powerful thing.
Okay, what is it?
Family. 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 Family.
Oh god, please don't tell me this is gonna turn into another stupid franchise. Not that this franchise is any good, but at least more watchable than that.
Too far! God! Thanks a lot, man.
So the first movie made a very deep impression on our minds due to the action, mainly the fake one-take extraction sequences. They are really well done and creative. Other than that, the first installment is pretty much trash. But I do appreciate the tone and the feel of that movie more than this one. The first one has this consistent orange color tone to it that makes it sort of feel like a setting that is very messy and the place is very chaotic, and that little niche added something to the movie. This time the movie is in all these big cities, modern buildings, plane hangars, all those places. Like the hospital even feels more like a Stark Tower. This makes the movie less inspiring in my opinion. The movie looks and feels like one of those generic Netflix attempt at creating a soulless action movie hoping that the famous lead actor is gonna make them a ton of money. And the locations and the setting in the films look so boring and adds literally nothing to the story. If they want something in a scene, they just made up new places that can fit that thing. And the CGI in the movie is not great. Not so bad to a point like you'll instantly turn it off, but when you see it, you know it's fake. Aside from the action, the characters and the story are all so bland, just like the first one. The first one was just giving a backstory to Tyler and hope that the backstory can kinda get the audience understand why he will do everything he can to save the child and redeem himself, but it didn't work. And this time I feel like they just drop it all and not even trying anymore. Tyler, being the lead, has basically no story at all. Like, what the hell? How do you even write this thing without a story for your lead? We got the opening of showing, not explaining. I'm pretty sure they don't even know how to explain he survived. And then completely forgetting that he went to see the child in the last movie. We get the mission, which he has no reason to say yes to. So they just make the mission personal for him by making it about his ex-sister-in-law. Just dragging him into this so he can try to do some action. And then we just get an occasional scene of him regretting not staying with his child at the end of his life, which leads to nothing actually. What are those scenes gonna do with the mission, you ask?
Absolutely nothing!
Absolutely nothing! Those are just trying to create an illusion of a character which he has none.
Absolutely nothing!
So the lead has nothing to do with the story, then what's the story, you ask? Well, it's about an extraction. Then the story just drags on with the bad guy chasing after the leads like a mad dog until he inevitably dies like a bitch. And intertwine this with Tyler's scene of crime, making the whole movie just so pointless. Like, it is going all the direction, but it's kinda not going any direction at all. And the kid being the dumb idiot who makes the stupid decision to keep the plot going is not helping. The movie tries to make him the heart and soul of the movie by consistently putting him in a situation where he has to choose between his mother and the evil uncle. But we never understand why he prefers his uncle's way in the first place. This already makes it harder to care about his choices, let alone the whole thing being so predictable. And he doesn't just have one scene of struggling to pick a side. In almost all his scenes, he is struggling to pick a side, which I don't understand why, because the film never explains why he wants to be with his uncle or why his dad is so important to him. The antagonist is just like a bland paper wanting to avenge his brother. That's it. He will go to extreme lengths to do it and has no regard for anything else at all. That's your villain of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Now move on to the part where you're probably most excited about, the action. Following the tradition of this franchise, the extraction scene is all being cut into one take, and it did look good and the hard work is definitely seen on the screen, but it just lacks the impact of the first one. This one doesn't have the feel of dread and doesn't really make me on the edge of my seat, as I already know that they're gonna make it out alive, so the suspense is out the window. And the action itself, when compared to the last one, is more focused on the grand scale chaos within this prison instead of focusing on the lead running away. it did try something new, but I don't think it works. The suspense is already not there, and not focusing on the lead just makes the whole one take pointless, as the gist of it is to let us feel like we are escaping with them, and that is out the window.
He just left.
But the good thing is that they did retain the in and out of the car camera work, which is still so jaw-dropping to look at. The other action scenes are just pointless and uninspiring as they can get. From the start, the movie keeps teasing the death of yachts, and after so many times they finally pull the trigger on it, and it means absolutely nothing due to the movie not really having any central story at all. Another good thing is, even though there are a lot of cuts and shaky camera occasionally, at least the focus of the shot is still putting the main action at the center of the screen and not just shaking the camera around. I can see everything clearly, and that is a pretty good thing that I enjoyed. More complicated but worse story, I mean it has no story to me, still bad characters everywhere, less inspiring, worse looking, more boring setting and tone, no dread or suspense, sometimes things are just illogical. Basically all the bad things that an action movie wants, they have a piece of it. If you really love the first one, this one might disappoint you. I personally think that the first one is surprising, not good, and this one is just kinda bad. So don't waste your time on this, watch something better or more interesting, or spend some time with your friends or loved ones. Based on the formula, we'll just keep getting more and more big stars to cameo, and Chris Hemsworth is just gonna keep going on missions that have nothing to do with him so he can do some fake one-take action sequences. You'll be fine skipping this one. What a disappointment. Joe, are you alright, Joe? These two scripts are just so boring and kinda bad. Like, are those MCU movies a fluke, or do you really need Anthony to write something decent? Please just go full action, and no story would have been a better time than trying to force these characters' emotion down our throat.
Eat it, Phyllis. Dip it in the water so it'll slide down your gullet more easily.
And start with the family shit, I can't take it anymore.
Stop it!
If Vin Diesel is gonna be that gnarly motherfucker, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna kill myself! I'm going to kill myself, and it's your fault!
Hold on.